What's up, guys? This is our first video of the summer, so let me officially welcome you back to Palm City Distance. Today we are going to be comparing Verot cross-country athletes to NBA players. But before we start, I want to show this disclaimer and say that the comparisons are not based on how good the NBA player is, but instead the career, achievements, age, role, and character of the NBA player, and the metaphors do not extend to anything that is not stated in this video. So without further ado, let's go. All right, to start this video off, we have Christian. He's a rising freshman, and his NBA player comparison is Victor Wembanyama. He's the most highly anticipated rookie that Bishop Verot has ever seen. And hopefully he can perform his freshman year and meet all his expectations. Like Victor Wembanyama, after the seniors graduate, Christian will likely become the new face of the team and the league. He is also way taller than any other athlete on the cross-country team currently. Next up, we have Zachary Zilke, a rising senior and the team captain of the cross-country team. His NBA player comparison is Kyle Lowry. Like Kyle Lowry, he knows a lot about the sport. He's probably the most knowledgeable on anything that has to do with cross-country or training. As a point guard, Kyle Lowry's job is to motivate, lead the team, and make plays, which is much like Zach's role on the team. He comes up with race strategies and sometimes even parts of practice. He's also a playoff riser, which means that he does better in the playoffs than any other season game or season race. Next up, we have Thomas Eichton, a rising junior, and his NBA player comparison is Jalen Williams. Like Jalen Williams, Thomas is a young star who keeps constantly improving. Also, if you know anything about Jalen Williams, he's a very funny guy, which is also like Thomas. Next up, we have the one, the only, Zachary Angle. He is a rising senior, and his NBA player comparison is Derek White. Like Derek White, Zach is a very, very consistent runner. He is always doing the same thing at practice. During races, you can count on him to place in basically every meet. He's also a morale booster, and he's a very important piece to hopefully what becomes a championship team like the Celtics. Next up, we have Denny Olsen. He's a rising senior, and his NBA player comparison is Scotty Barnes. There's not really an explanation needed here. If you know Denny and you know Scotty Barnes, you just know. Next up, we have Ethan Swanson. He's a rising senior, and his NBA player comparison is Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Like Thanasis, he may not be the most impactful player on the court, but when he gets on the field, he's always willing to put in maximum effort. He is the funniest player on the court, and he's that guy that just gives you that extra motivation when you need it. Next up, we have Gianna Giric. She is a rising sophomore, and her NBA player comparison is Chet Holmgren. Like Chet Holmgren, she is entering her second year as a player, and she also had a great rookie season, and she also has a little bit of a goofy personality, just like Chet. Next up, we have Mackenzie Delisle, a rising senior whose NBA player comparison is James Harden. Like James Harden, Mac has had a lot of individual success. She placed second in the state meet last year. James Harden won the MVP. James Harden also had one of the best scoring seasons in NBA history, and Mac did that last year. She was the all-area cross-country athlete of the year, and probably had the best season out of anyone to ever come out of this area of Florida. Next up, we have myself, Andrew Marino. I'm a rising senior, and I'm also the team captain of the cross-country team. And I think my NBA player comparison is Dirk Nowitzki. Like Dirk Nowitzki, I've been running for a very long time. And at the beginning of my running career, I wasn't that great. But now that I'm nearing the end of my high school career, hopefully I can lead my team to a championship like Dirk Nowitzki did. Next up, we have my personal favorite, Grayson Tubbs. He has already graduated, but he's one of the greats. And his NBA player comparison is Kevin Garnett. Like Kevin Garnett, Grayson Tubbs had the majority of playoff success at the end of his career. Kevin Garnett won a championship with the Celtics near the end of his career, and Grayson placed third in the 800 in his senior year at the state track meet. Kevin Garnett also, in my opinion, has the most aura out of any NBA player to ever play the game, just like Grayson Tubbs. Next up, we have Caroline Muddell. She is a rising junior, and her NBA player comparison is Trae Young. Like Trae Young, she is also a promising young player, and she also has had great individual success. She won the regional championship in the 800 meter, and Trae Young led the league in scoring and assists one season. Last but certainly not least, we have Coach Tyler. His NBA coach comparison is Greg Popovich. Like Greg Popovich, Coach Tyler is the best coach of all time. He has also been coaching for a pretty decent amount of time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it lets you get to know the Palm City Distance crew a little bit better.